Hey traders, Mark here. Today is Tuesday, April 17th. Happy tax day. Yeah, not really happy, is it? Well, it is happy in the sense that when you finally get it over with and you can move on to the next year, it's off your shoulders. So that is a relief. Anyway, I had a request from someone to do a couple weeks worth of testing with these different zones. Because I know last night I only showed one day. So anyway, I think this is April 28th. Let's go back and see. Did I say April 20th? I guess we're not even in April. March 28th. So let's just go ahead and run through a couple days. Now this, I apologize ahead of time. It's going to take a little while, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway. And feel free to just shut it off whenever you get bored. So here is the way that I trade all of this, okay? After 8:30, I start looking for my trade. And if I have both trends in the same direction, then I just use my normal entry criteria. If I have one long, one short, then I require divergence. So, now there's two types of divergence that I want to discuss. Divergence number one, it's the type of divergence that most people are familiar with. For example, right here, if price makes a new high, my stochastic is at 97.92 right here. Actually, it's at 100. It's buried at 100. And then we come down, and then we go higher, and I make a higher high on price, but I make a lower high on my stochastic. That would be divergence. But there's another type, and I'm going to show you. Let's look at this area right here, for example. So you can see the low of this move is 65.02 right here. The high of this move is 65.0950 right here. The difference between this low to this high is $7.50. If we come down to the stochastic, we can do the same analysis. At my low, it was at 385. At this peak right here, it was at 54.72. The difference is 50.87. When I make this retrace right here, my retrace comes into 65.0350 right there. So this thing retraced 80% of this initial move. Well, my stochastic only retraced 63% of the move. So that would be the equivalent of a lower low on price, but a higher low on the stoch. Now, you don't need to know how to do all of this because I'm going to build all of that into here. But I just wanted to run that by you so you knew when I mentioned divergence, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's get started. So right here I am red in red, so I would take a short after the market opens, which is right here, and there's no opportunity to take a short. And so now I'm red and green. I need divergence, and you can see I do not have divergence. Okay, now as we move lower, I do not have divergence through here. Well, actually I do, but I'm not inside the buy zone. Then we come into this area, and I'm not oversold, so no trade. Come down here, and we do have divergence right here. So it's at this point that I would take a trade. My entry would be right above this bar at 65.0675, and it would be an easy 8-to-1 risk reward. Okay, let's continue moving forward. Now this is not a fresh zone, So I haven't decided how I want to trade those yet. Okay, I'm back inside of this original zone. And it looks to me like I do, let's see if I have divergence in here. My Stoke is at 0. And right here, my Stoke is also at 0, so there's no divergence in there. When we push lower, I do have divergence right here. But again, this is not a fresh zone. So again, I'm not sure how I want to trade those. You can see it goes all the way back. If I were taking zones that were not fresh, I would have had a trade right here. I would have also had a trade here. Would have had one here, and then here. So we can look at both, but I really want to pay more attention to the fresh zones. Now that could change as I start doing some testing on it. Okay. Really, what I want to show you is that you are getting fewer and fewer zones. Now remember what I said last night. Remember, if I get 2 fresh zones and price does not come back into them, I'm going to ignore the 3rd zone. Remember? And you can see that was a good choice. So I would be looking for this area up here. Now I'd be looking for a short in here. However, I need at least one of these in my favor, and I have 0, so I would not do anything right there or right there. And now I am neutral. Now I have 1 bullish, so I would take a trade here. Okay, now because I only have 1 bullish, I have to have divergence to be able to take a trade. So if we look at our stochastic right here, it's at 12.12. Right here, there's no divergence. Okay. Now, you're going to see something very subtle, and this is exactly how I'm going to program this trade. So, man, how detailed do I get with you guys? Once I have an up green bar, I'm going to look left to my last red bar. I'm going to measure the stochastic at that last red bar. The stochastic at this point is 1.41. You're going to have to just trust me. I have this data box right here. You guys can look at it if you want. .41. Now I've got my green bar, now I've got a down red bar and an up green bar. Now this down red bar right here, my stochastic's 4.35. That is technically divergence. So it's very minimal, but this is where my entry would fall. And look at that, guys. I have not looked at this data, okay? I put 20 days on this chart and I just started going forward. So there you go. You got another nice winner. Okay? Now I would not take a trade up here because I need my reset. There's my break of my last buy zone. Still nothing to do. And so you can see I'm getting fewer zones in here, right? So there I go, 10 minutes without a zone. Okay, there's my red zone. So now I've got my reset. I do not have a red trend in here, so I can't short out of this until right here. Okay, now I do not have divergence here. Here's my last red bar. So my stochastic's at 89.58. Clearly I'm higher on my stochastic. Okay. Now the question is, do I have retracement divergence in here? Well, let's go ahead and fill in the numbers, and we're going to find out. I'm sorry guys, at this pace this is going to take a long time. I'm already 10 minutes in and I'm only at 9 o'clock. Okay, so my high here is 65.07. My low is 64.9975. My retracement 65.0350. 52% retrace. Now let's go measure our stochastic. So here's my green bar to the left of the first down red. It's at 100. $64.1 and 76.92. Okay, so price retraces 52% and the stochastic retraces 36%. So the answer is yes, we do have retracement divergence, so I would take a trade here, and we'll just see what happens. Okay, stopped out. All right, now I am red and red. And remember guys, these zones are a little bit different. They do not shut off with a full body close above. There's a different parameter for these to shut off. So I would take this trade again. So I would have had a loss right here, and I'd be in a trade again. My entry would have been right here at 65.07 quarter. So I've got 27 points in my favor. You got a 32 point trade. Would have definitely hit your profit objective. So I think that is a third winner today, and it's only 9 o'clock. I'm not doing a good job keeping track, but let's just say there were 6 losses. I don't think there were that many. If we put some numbers to it, say my average stop, I guess it's hard to say because I'm not actually logging these, but we'll say the average stop is I don't know, 2.5, 3 points. So that's going to be risking, say, $60 a contract, and that means I'd be going for 24 points, which would be going for, what is that, $480, right? I guess I can just get my calculator out. Come on. So if we're at 60 and we've had, say, 6 losses, we're down $360. For our average winner is 24 points. That is the 480. Multiply that by 3 and take out your 360. You know, you're already at $1,000 day per contract, so it's a good way to start your day, start your week, whatever it is. Okay, let's continue. All right, so again, I don't believe that's a fresh zone, is it? Oh no, that is. I guess that's today's zone. However, right here, you can see I turn red, so it wouldn't matter. But very nice bounce out of it. Okay, I do not have anything green, so I would not consider a trade in there. Okay, red and red. I would be looking for a trade in here as long as I am over bought. Okay, now I would have been looking for a trade in here. I'm not overbought, so there's no trade there. And this zone is now gone. and I can look for a trade here. So I would be short on this bar. Wow. 30 points so far. Very nice move. So there you go again. So now you have 4 wins and no more losses. Okay. Okay, wait for my blue zone. There's your blue zone. And look at that move off there. Okay, I'm not going to look for a short. I can look for, actually I can look for a short now. So I could take a short right here. Would have been a loss. I no longer have divergence in here. I am green and green, so I would get long right here. So what are we looking at? Entry 74 quarter. Oh, have you really close to your target? Man, now that would be a bummer, wouldn't it? 74 quarter. I needed 90. Wait, yeah, I would need 98 quarters. So you would have been really close, but not quite. If you were going, if the target was 24. Now I don't know that that would be the case here. I mean, it's a pretty tight bar, so you may have had a smaller target, in which case you would have nailed it. I guess we could find out by putting an ATR on there. But again, I just want to go through the action here. So assuming, let's just assume that that either hit target or you and move your stop. I'm not taking another trade in here until I got my reset, which would be right here. Okay, so can I take a trade here? Well, I can if I get divergence. But as you can see, that doesn't happen, and the zone is gone. Okay, I can take a trade in here. So my entry would be, oh, look what happens. It goes red right here. I do not have divergence at this point. I do have divergence here, but the zone goes away. Okay, I'm red and red, so I could take a short. I cannot take a long, unfortunately. It turns out to be a good trade. I can short now. Actually, what am I thinking? I can short up here. Is this? Yes. So I could short up in here with divergence, which I do get in this area right here. So we'll say my entry, I would have had an entry here, and then would have been after this move. So maybe, let's just say I was stopped out there. I would have re-entered and then stopped again. And then I would have, looks like would have had another entry right there. Oh wait, never mind, I don't have divergence in there. Never mind. I'm green and red. Okay, so now wait for the next zone. I am not oversold. Actually, I am at 80.36. 80.36, so there's no divergence. And then I go green and green, so there's no trade. Ooh, that's too bad. No divergence here. Oh, wouldn't have mattered. Alright. Do I have divergence here? No, not likely. So if I got divergence up here, I would take a trade, but it looks like we're going to turn green and green. No trade. Gosh, this is going to be a really long video. Guys, I'm not going to do 2 weeks. This is going to take too long. I'm going to start. Whoa, I went ahead way too fast. Sorry, guys. Okay, I could take a trade back at the blue right here. I'd have a trade right there, probably stopped out, another one here. Stopped out, re-entry, and out again. And then it would have taken another one here, so I would have had 1, 2, 3, 4 losses in there. Be looking for a trade back in the red. Or a long, which I do not have any divergence here, so no trade. Now if I had a retracement divergence here, I could be in a trade. And that would not have hit a target. And then again, let's look at this one. So there would have been divergence right here, which I would have entered a trade. And then again divergence here. And I would not have had divergence here, so I would not be able to take a trade there. Which is a shame. Okay, and right here I would have had a trade. Oh, never mind. I'm not oversold, so I don't go oversold till right here. So my entry would have been right here, short, 65.1450, and clearly a target. So what's amazing about this right here, we had probably 5 or 6 losses through here, right? Easily. And then it's all made up on this move. So now I'll be looking for a reset. And this is a very active day, guys. There's going to be a lot of days like today. There just wasn't a whole lot of action today. There's my reset. And move right into the zone and zone. But I would not take a trade there. I would not have had a trade in here either. Boy, look at that failure at the zone in the zone. Okay. No divergence. This is the first time it goes over sold here, but I cannot take a trade. Okay, I can look for a divergence trade in here. First have to get into the zone. It does hit to the tick. I don't know if you guys can see the shaded region on here. Actually, I guess this one back here was to the tick right there on the shaded region. But there's no trade there. Okay, you would have had divergence right here for an entry. And then your zone is gone. Let's see, what's the stochastic? Oh, stochastic's like 0 right there. So no, you're not gonna have divergence. Okay, now I'm red and red. Can look for the sell zone. Did not happen. Okay, let's see if we have any divergence in here. We do. Okay, so let's look back here. So here's my green up bar. Let's look back to the red. Stochastics at 4. We have our move down. Here's my green up bar. Look here. Stochastic is at it says 2.08. Let's go back here to oh, never mind. There is no divergence there. Okay, scratch that. Okay. You will have the retracement divergence right here, but at this point I do not have a red trend, so I can't take a trade. So I'd be looking for a long back in here if it gets there. Okay, so now I just turn green and green. So my entry is going to just be on an up green bar, which will be right here. And that would be a loser. And so now I'm down in here. I've got divergence. Looking for a long trade again. There's another loss. And then the zone is gone. So no trade in there. I'm not taking a trade here. Okay, I would look for a trade in here. The reason I'm not taking one here is because, again, I want to look at the more recent zones, but I need to have divergence in here, which I'm not going to get. But I do get it right here. You can see it right there. And that's a loss, and then no divergence here. And of course that one looks like it's going to go. And there it goes. Had a couple opportunities here too. Right back here, just didn't get the divergence that I needed. And then again here, did not get the divergence. It's getting late in the day. I wouldn't be taking a trade this late in the day, but you did have divergence right here, and the zone was still valid, so it would be short right there. And that one would have worked out. So you can see the zone doesn't stop printing till right here, so you would have had your trade. And you can see the divergence right here. From, it was at 100 down to 98.53, right? Guys, that's just one day, and that took 30 minutes. Let's see if I can start flying through some days, just so you guys can get an idea. Now, these are old zones, okay? So you can ignore all these old zones. Here's your first fresh zone. Now, unfortunately, you have a neutral trend here. Otherwise, this would be a beautiful trade. We'll just kind of zip through some of these so you can kind of get an idea. Here's your zone in the zone. Look at that nice little trade there. Beautiful trade in the zone in the zone. And that's a fresh one. That's what you want. These are your best zone in the zone trades are your fresh ones, not ones that have been printing for a while. So like this one right here, I'd ignore it because it's been printing for a while, and I'm actually going to have that updated. So okay, so you got another zone here. Just watch and see what happens. Nope, we got ran over. You would have trades here, here, and here. Those look like they all would have been losses. Okay, there's another group. Ah, it's too bad. This thing turns red on me. choppy action. Here's a nice trade. So you guys can see there's a lot fewer zones. And here's a trade. Be a nice trade too. It definitely would hit your target. Man, look at these moves out of these zones here. So you can see reducing the number of zones, reducing the number of trades, increasing the risk reward. All in all, I think it's going to be a good thing. There's a good one. You can see your zone in the zone. Nailed it. This one too. This is another one to the tick, but you would have been short here and then here. Never would have had a chance to get in here. No divergence. That's a shame. Now you actually may have had retracement divergence right here, because this does not retrace at all on the Stoke. And believe it or not, guys, this move right here, 93. I mean, it's 25 points. Actually, 27 points. Look at this. Got divergence right here. And you got one green, one red. There's your entry. So you would have back-to-back winners there. Would I trade here? No trade here. Then would have another one up here. See, would have initially been short here, stopped out, and short again. I have a handful of losses in here. Be long in here. Long again. Actually, maybe not. Oh no, your Stoke came down here to 0. So no, you would not have been long. You would have been right. Oh, never mind. You would not have been, because I don't have a green. Would have been short up here though. See, look at this. Have your divergence. The zone is still valid until the close of this bar, but you'd already be in. And I'm going to get all this stuff put into a nice, neat little program. There's another nice one. Guys, this stuff is rock solid. Okay, there's that day. Anyway, I hope you all get the idea. And once I get all this put together, we'll spend some time in the evenings going through a lot of this stuff in detail, and you'll have a chance to do a lot of testing on your own. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Anyway, I hope you all get an idea here. There's a couple updates I'm having done to this specific indicator, and then I'm going to send it out to a couple people for testing. Last time I did this is when I started realizing there were some issues. Hopefully I have those resolved. So sit tight. And then I've got a little surprise for you guys coming up in a couple weeks. All right, gang. I'll catch you later.